Hey, you are tuned into 101 TKO Radio, and this is the She Wins Radio Show with your favorite coach, Andromeda, coming to you every Tuesday. This is our last Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you information, inspiration, and empowerment to win in life and in business. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. You have been rocking out with the music since 11 o'clock. I totally appreciate you for staying here, for waiting patiently for me to show up today. So listen, today we are talking about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. And so today was one of those, I'm not gonna say today. I had a bad moment, a very brief bad moment. This morning, I got in my car to get here to the station. My car wouldn't start. And you know what? That's real life, right? That is not something that I had any control over. However, God is good, and I made it. I made it anyway. So listen, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are listening right now and you're an entrepreneur or an inspiring entrepreneur, this show is for you because I know that, when we log on to social media and we get on these apps, we see the glitz, the glamour of entrepreneurship, right? We see everybody's highlight reels. We see the celebration of people's wins. But what we often do not see is the process, right? We do not see the challenges that people face on the journey, on the way to getting to the finish line and celebrating that win. So today we want to kind of just like peel back the layers, okay, and give you some insight into what entrepreneurship really looks like, really, so that if you are currently an entrepreneur, you don't feel like you're alone. I think that one of the lonely things that makes entrepreneurship so lonely is the fact that oftentimes we aren't able to see the process for other people. So we might be looking at our own process feeling like something must be wrong with me. I must be doing things wrong. Why am I not growing as quickly? Or why are these people not experiencing the same challenges that I am? But little do you know that a lot of people are experiencing very similar challenges that you are. And a lot of people's process looks a lot like yours does. And so we want to talk about it today so that you don't feel lonely, so that you also know that you can overcome, you can persevere through the challenges that you face. And so that you learn some tips to be a successful entrepreneur. We have a special guest today. Her name is Dr. Princess Lomax. She is a serial entrepreneur, a seasoned serial entrepreneur. She has been an entrepreneur for quite some time. So she's going to definitely be able to tell us about her journey and the good, bad, and ugly of entrepreneurship for her. I also want to share with you all this morning that this is the last day of No Negativity November. I mean, I hope that we do continue the practices that we have started already this month, right? No engaging in negative conversations, no consuming negative content, no participating in negative actions, right? I hope that we continue, making those things part of our daily life. However, today is the last day of No Negativity November, and I feel like today was a day where I was challenged to stay positive in the midst of, we'll call it negativity, right? I mean, you plan to leave your house and get in your car, and when your car is starting, you need to be somewhere at a certain time and it doesn't start. That can be negative, and the response that you can give to that could be negative, right? I could have cried, I could have thrown a tantrum, I could have said just cancel my show for today. I could have done a lot of different things, but I chose to stay in a positive spirit. I chose to believe that there was a way forward, and there was. And I mean, again, to be able to still start my show today at 11:15 and not miss too much, that's absolutely a blessing. So the message I definitely want to share with you today is that sometimes things look bleak and it looks like there's no way forward. However, if you just take a moment to breathe and figure out, like, okay, what's the door that has opened, or what's the next step? What's the thing that I can do in this moment to move myself forward? You might find that the problem is not even that big a deal. It took my husband from the time he showed up in the driveway literally 2 minutes to start my car, if that. I mean, it was cranked up pretty quickly because it was just my battery was dead. So again, I just wanted to share that with you all today. And the other thing I want to share is that this morning I sent out an email. If you are on the email list at SheWinsSociety.com, I sent out an email about the fact that entrepreneurship is hard and what we're going to talk about today. but I also shared that I was going to do my part to be better at sharing my process and the difficult challenges that I face along the way. So the fact that I said that today, and I sent that email out prior to me going out into my driveway and getting in my car, and then my car didn't start. I just felt like, okay, that's the opportunity to stand on business, right? We've been hearing that a lot. Stand on business, practice what you preach, mean what you say. And so I said, okay, instead of me focusing so much on the fact that my car is not starting, this is absolutely an opportunity in this very moment for me to stand on business, for me to do exactly what I said I was going to do, which is share with you all the challenges that I'm faced behind the scenes, like beyond when I'm not on this radio show or beyond when I'm hosting events at Sheila Society. You've been able to see like my normal day-to-day stuff and the challenges that I face. So, when things happen in life, sometimes those are moments for you to really stand on business. For you might have said, okay, God, I'm about to do this, or you might have, put your mouth on something and said, you're going to improve this a certain kind of way, or you're going to move a different kind of way, and guaranteed life is going to provide you an opportunity to do exactly what you said you were going to do. So when those moments show up, don't get upset and don't run from them. Lean into them. This is now an opportunity for you to stand on business, for you to do exactly what you said that you were going to do. So let's get into this conversation about entrepreneurship, because like I said, the society we live in today definitely makes entrepreneurship look a lot glamorous, but I think a lot more glamorous than it is, I'll say. I think entrepreneurship is beautiful. I think it's amazing. It provides a lot of freedoms. It has a lot of pros that are involved in it. I've been doing it for 10 years, so obviously there must be something I'm getting out of it, right? However, entrepreneurship comes with a lot of cons too. So while some people will tell you like, oh, quit your job and become an entrepreneur, I'm that person that will say, do what's best for you, sis. Because I don't think entrepreneurship is something that everybody is built for at every season of their life. It takes a certain kind of mindset. It takes a certain kind of motivation. There are moments in entrepreneurship where the money is flowing, and there are moments in entrepreneurship when it's not. And if you can't stomach those moments when it's not, you're not going to be able to stay in it, right? Like some of us are very accustomed to when we go to work every day, and every 2 weeks on that Friday, we're getting a paycheck that we can count on, that we can budget for. But entrepreneurship is not like that. There are those ups and down moments in entrepreneurship. Sometimes things really just do not go the way that you planned. So with that being said, I want to share some statistics when it comes to entrepreneurship, specifically when it comes to women. But first, we're going to talk about just the basic statistics when it comes to entrepreneurship. And so there are approximately, if you didn't know this, 31 million entrepreneurs in the United States. 31 million entrepreneurs. That's a lot of people. That is like a lot of people. Now, compared to the working population, they account for 16% of the workforce. So it's still a lot less entrepreneurs than there are people who are actually employees, who are, going into a job. 31% of entrepreneurs have an associate's degree. 17% of entrepreneurs have a bachelor's degree. I fall in the 17%. I have my bachelor's degree in accounting. I spent 6 years getting that 4-year bachelor's degree because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I kept changing my major until I finally settled on accounting, because that was my sister got her degree in. And that's what I got my degree in. And so, I worked in that field for a few years before I realized, like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't see myself doing this the rest of my life. And so that's how I got into entrepreneurship, because I wanted to do something that I felt like truly fulfilled me in life. 18% of entrepreneurs have a master's degree. 4% of entrepreneurs have a PhD. So it seems like most people don't, if you're going to go all the way to the PhD, you're not planning on starting your own business. All right, so let's keep these statistics going. 66% of small businesses in the U.S. are profitable. 66%. I think that number is really important for me to say, because when we log on to social media, 100% of businesses, it seems, are profitable and winning, right? We see so many people talking about, how they are making these big numbers in business, hitting 6 figures every month. They can teach you how to make $1 million in 30 days. Like, we see all the things, right? But the statistics are that 66%, which is a very large number, right? That's more than half. 66% of small businesses in the U.S. are profitable. So again, if you are feeling like right now you're not profiting, or maybe you're having these ebbs and flows when it comes to your financial health in business, know that you're not alone. Know that you're not alone. There's a good chunk of people who have started businesses who are still not making a profit, who are struggling to make a consistent profit. You are not alone. This is a really good statistic to know. Nearly 5 million new businesses were registered in 2022. Wow. I think that says a lot. They said that this is a 42% increase from pre-pandemic levels. You know what I think that is, though? If we can be honest, I think that during the pandemic, a lot of people had to get creative, right? A lot of people backs were against the wall, and they had to get creative. And in that moment, they figured out that, oh my gosh, I have a skill, I have a talent, I have a way to make money on my own. On top of that, a lot of people also were in a position where they were working from home. And they got very comfortable in this space of being able to kind of have that flexibility that comes with working from home. And so when these jobs are saying you got to come back in the office, they're like, I'm going to do my own thing. And so I think that the pandemic, but some of us would really think that like a lot of bad things came out of the pandemic, but I think a lot of good things came out of the pandemic. People definitely have been realizing that they want more freedom. I think that's the pandemic made people realize they want more freedom. And also that life is short, right? Like, we put so much energy into helping other people to build their dreams while ours just goes to the side. But life is short, and you really don't know like what's going to come the next year. So I think it's really dope that nearly 5 million new businesses were started. And then it says that 54% of small businesses owners, however, feel like the pandemic is still impacting their business. So how many people are feeling like that? If you're listening right now, I would love to hear from you. Call in at 678-439-7419 and chat with me. Let me know how business is going for you after the pandemic. Are you still in business? Have you lost your business as a result of the pandemic? Are you still seeing growth in your business since the pandemic? What's happening for you? And so these are like some really good statistics for us to consider. Oh, this is some really interesting news. I didn't know about this. It takes 1 day to start a business in New Zealand, 2 days in Canada, 3 days in Australia, 5 days in the UK, and 6 days in the US. That's what it says. Which I find that to be really interesting. It only takes 1 day to start a business in New Zealand, 2 days in Canada, but it takes 6 days in the US. Now, why would that be? That's definitely something for us that make you like scratch your head a little bit. What is up with that? So this is something for us to know too. Retail and food are the most popular industries for small business owners. I think that's important for us to know because there's a lot of us who have a lot of different ideas about starting a business, but we don't do market research. And we don't understand that for a business to be successful, you have to be solving a problem, right? People pay for things that they actually need and that they value. There are people, of course, that are just, shoppers. And so they're going to buy little trinkets and things that they might not necessarily need as much. But for the most part, people are spending money on things that they need and that they value. So people absolutely need to wear clothes, right? They absolutely need to wear clothes. They absolutely need like certain things that are sold in retail stores in order for them to be successful in their daily life. And people absolutely need to eat. So that makes sense that retail and food are the most popular industries for small business owners. This is really good too. Nearly 543,000 new businesses are created in the U.S. each month. And 1/4 of entrepreneurs report having a hard time finding qualified employees. I think that is real. And I can say that I have definitely been in the 1/4 of entrepreneurs that have had a difficult time finding some good help. I have talked a lot to my other female entrepreneurs who have, transportation businesses. Shout out to Megan Cole at Trucking and High Heels. Food truck businesses. She has a food truck business as well. And I have definitely heard like the stories, the horror stories about trying to hire good help because people don't want to work. These days, people don't want to work. And, again, I attribute that to the pandemic because I think people are just tired. I think that I read something on social media the other day where somebody was talking about how, when you were younger, you had a lot more enthusiasm when it came to like, working hard and giving so much energy to your day. But it's like when you get older, you get to a certain point and realize like, dang, like I'm putting in all this energy, but like, where's the reward? Like, every time I make some 3, 4, 5 steps forward, they keep moving the finish line. They keep moving the goalposts. Like I can't seem to get where I'm trying to go, no matter how hard I work. So I think that is part of it too. Like people are tired. They're tired of working hard and not being able to see enough reward for all of their hard work. This is also a good thing I'm going to share before we move on. 31% of entrepreneurs in the U.S. start a business because they want to pursue a passion. I'm also part of that 31%. As I shared with you all, I was working in accounting, but it wasn't doing it for me. I didn't feel passionate about it. I wasn't fulfilled in doing it. And so I said I have to figure out what my purpose is in this world. And it led me on this journey of blogging, building an organization for women, hosting events and retreats, and now becoming a radio personality. I definitely believe in people pursuing their passions and purpose in life. I also believe in just understanding the country that you live in. If you are listening from the United States of America, sometimes, being passionate about a thing is not enough. Sometimes it really does take, when it comes to business, you being clear about who your business serves and how it serves them and why it serves them. Because again, if you are passionate about something, but you can identify what problem that solves for people or who actually needs, wants, or will purchase what you have to offer, then yeah, you can be passionate about a thing, but it doesn't mean that your business is going to be successful, right? And so in order for a business to grow, it absolutely needs to be making money. So you have to ask yourself, are you doing something that, could just be for you like a hobby or something that you volunteer or be a part of in terms of like just serving your community? Or is this an actual business that can actually earn an income, that can actually be scaled, that can actually be successful, in the world? And I'm one of those people who would say, like, no one can tell you that. You have to know that for yourself. And I'm also one of those people who say you have to try things too, because sometimes people will tell you, like, oh, no, that's not a viable business. Oh, no, that won't work. But what we have seen a lot is that people are out here making money doing a lot of things that people thought they wouldn't be able to make money doing. So definitely pursue your passions and your purpose, but also, you got to get some business mindset behind it as well, and know how you are actually going to build this thing out. Make the vision plain, as we hear all the time, right? So that's what I want to share with us about the statistics for entrepreneurship in general. I also want to talk about some entrepreneurship statistics when it comes to Black women, because Black women are out here doing it. A day doesn't go by that I don't see some beautiful Black woman on social media celebrating her success in business, whether that be women who are starting candle lines to fashion lines, women who are in real estate, women who are just, out here just being amazing, that Black girl magic, right? So I want to share some statistics for us in general, Black women who are listening. So we talked about how many businesses were started in 2022 and how many businesses are started each year in the U.S. Black females account for 42% of all women who open a new business. Of all people, rather. Or all women. 42% of all women who open a business. So that's really, really amazing. And they represent 36% of all Black employers. In the U.S., 17% of Black women are in the process of starting a business compared to 10% of white women and 15% of white Men, which again, I think that speaks volumes as well. Like our sisters are out here doing the thing. They're out here doing the thing. They are out here deciding that they want to be free. They're out here creating their own schedules. They're out here using their gifts and they're out here lighting up the world. And I love to see it. So let's talk about this. Let's talk more about this. Let's talk about what's driving Black business growth. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break before we talk about that. And actually, when we come back from the break, I think that my special guest might be here. So stay tuned. Then this is She Wins Radio on 101 TKO Radio. This is your favorite coach Andromeda. We'll be right back. Hey sis, hey, hey sis, hey, we are back. Thank you so much for staying locked in with me today. This is the She Wins Radio Show on 101 TKO Radio. Your favorite coach, Andromeda. Listen, we are talking about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And today has been a day for me, but I am here. Okay, this entrepreneur had some challenges this morning, but she is here. She is still standing. And I think, you know what? I told you before that I feel like, there's nothing like entrepreneurship that will test your faith. Okay. Like there is nothing like entrepreneurship. If there's anybody out here who's acting like they just know everything when it comes to entrepreneurship, I'm gonna be the first to tell you they're not telling you the whole truth, sis. Because entrepreneurship is a faith walk. It really is a daily faith walk. Like you can do all of the research, you can make all of the plans, you can have all of the things, in the right place and still not be able to guarantee any particular outcome. Because that's just life, right? Like you don't know for sure what's going to happen. So entrepreneurship is a faith walk. Nothing challenges your faith like entrepreneurship does. But what I want to do is I want to share with you, before we left on the break, I said I wanted to talk about what's driving profitability when it comes to business, right? And so I wanted to talk about some of the women in history who have done some amazing things when it comes to entrepreneurship, right? I don't know if you all watched the Madam C.J. Walker series on Netflix. I think that came out like a few years ago. Really, really good. If you haven't researched Madam C.J. Walker's story, I definitely encourage you to do so. But she was one of the women who we were able to see how she came from nothing and really, really got it out the mud. We also got to see that her journey was not always fun, right? Like her whole factory burnt down, right? Like we know that she made beauty products for women, specifically for hair. And at some one point, her whole factory burnt down, and she had to build it all up again. And so I want us to think about that though. Like when it comes to life, when it comes to business, how do we handle these challenges that we face when things happen? Like again, that are out of our control. Like because sis was thriving, things were going very well for her in business, and then for her factory to burn down, a lot of us would have been like, "I'm not doing this anymore. Like I give up. Like this must be some kind of sign." Some of us are good for that. This must be some kind of sign. I'm supposed to quit. I'm supposed to give up. But she didn't. She persevered, and she ended up, becoming a millionaire in business. And in her time, that was like pretty much unheard of, right? That was not something that was very common. We don't, in a time like her. So I want us to talk about these women because sometimes we just need to be inspired by others to know that it's possible. We need to know that even though we run into difficulties and challenges, like it's still possible for us to succeed. It's still possible for us to persevere beyond the things that try to bring us down. So one of the people I want to talk about, and you all may know her very well, Lisa Nichols. As a life coach, I definitely look up to Lisa Nichols. I feel like she is a very dope human being. She's very authentic in who she is and what she does. And Lisa Nichols has been able to be a part of the lineup of Black women entrepreneurs who have a publicly traded company. Like that is major, right? When we talk about goals, having a publicly traded company as a Black woman entrepreneur is major. Hey, Tashawn, I see you, girl. So Tashawn said, yes, entrepreneurship is a faith walk, especially being a full-time entrepreneur. Woo, child. Listen, sometimes it feels like this is the ghetto. Get me off. Like, stop the ride and let me off, okay? Carolyn said, a definite faith walk. Yes, it is. Like, it just is. But so getting back to, and thank y'all. I want to say thank y'all. Thank you again for tuning in, whether you're listening live on the website, whether you're listening on YouTube or Facebook or the app. Just thank you. Thank you for being here with me today. It helps my entrepreneurship journey just be more joyful. So I appreciate you. But Lisa Nichols is a motivational speaker, CEO, and the founder of Motivating the Masses, Inc. Some of her past clients include L'Oreal, Toyota, Wells Fargo, and others. But here's the thing about Lisa. After being fired from a job as an account specialist, she started her business helping people make an inner transformation. She became prominent after her appearance in the film The Secret, detailing how she grew a successful business after being on public assistance, y'all. And this is what I mean too when we talked about earlier, like One thing you don't want to do, if you're trying to stop a black woman from winning, don't push her against the corner. Like don't back her in the corner. Cause that's like the worst thing you could do. Cause sis is gonna come out swinging. She about to show you what she's really made of. And so I just think that like we really have to tap into that. Just understanding like when you're backed into a corner, sis, that's not the moment to give up. That's the moment to really dig deeper because there's some strength in you did not know you had. There's some creativity inside of you did not know you had. And in that difficult moment, if you tap in, you will be surprised where you will arrive to. You will arrive at places and opportunities that you never even knew you could arrive to. Okay. So Lisa, be like Lisa, right? She said one time she was so poor she wrapped her son in a dish towel because she couldn't afford diapers. This is the same woman who now has a publicly traded company, y'all. How you go from wrapping your child in a dish towel because you don't have no diapers to having a publicly traded company. But see, this is the power again of perseverance. That's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's a lot of the things that again we don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about it. And a lot of us don't talk about it. So a lot of us don't realize that the entrepreneurship journey does have a lot of good, bad, and ugly. So once we get into it expecting everything to be pretty, expecting everything to be easy because that's what other people made it seem like. And then we run into that good, that bad, and that ugly. Then we're like, oh wait, no, this is no, I don't want to do this. This is not right. But it's part of the process. It's part of the process. See, that's the thing too. I think we don't understand enough of that. If you don't have those struggle moments, you don't really get to appreciate it when you do get to those other places. And not for nothing, you wouldn't get to those higher places without that struggle. That's really the truth. Because again, it's being backed in the corner. It's having those moments when you're so low, you're so down, you can't see a way forward, and you're forced to dig deeper or go or look in places that you wouldn't have looked before, or get help from people you wouldn't have asked for help before. That allows you to elevate. So I want us to really like again tap into understanding that entrepreneurship is absolutely worth it. Like I'm quite sure Lisa Nichols, I've seen her on social media now. Lisa is living in the Bahamas with her husband. You like living her best life. And I'm quite sure even with her making as much money as she makes, she still has moments where entrepreneurship is good, bad, and ugly. However, I'm quite sure if she could tell you, which I'm sure she probably has already told us on social media at some point in time, that the journey was worth it. Like it was hard. There were ugly moments, there were bad moments, but the good makes up for all of those moments. Okay. Another person I will talk about is Lisa Price. I know that y'all are probably very familiar with Lisa Price as well. She's the founder and president of the brand Carol's Daughter. I think we are very familiar with Carol's Daughter. She got her start in the 90s making hair body products as a side hustle while working in production on TV shows like The Cosby Show and the spinoff Here Now. Now, I think that's dope too because some of us are working these full-time jobs and we are giving them so much of our energy and we're not starting the side hustle. Listen, I want to say this because a lot of us are not starting because we are afraid of starting. We are afraid of what that looks like. Sometimes that side hustle can turn into a full time gig. It can turn into a whole business. It can turn into you completely transforming your life. And so even though she was making hair and body products on the side, while working in production on TV shows like The Cosby Show, she ended up turning her side hustle into a whole business, okay, a whole brand. She experimented with creams and essential oils, began selling products after her mother urged her to make it a business. And after garnering attention at local craft fairs and farmers markets, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Jay-Z became her first $10 million investors, y'all. Like, I just want y'all to be able to see what is possible, right? As adults, we got to be real. Sometimes we just stop imagining. We stop believing that things are possible for us. We start getting ourselves, put ourselves in this box of what is realistic for us to do. And the truth is that you never really know what you can do until you actually just start, until you start tinkering around with things. Like if you do have a passion for crafts or you do have a passion for, creating formulas or whatever the case may be, whether it's for soaps or whether it's for candles or whatever the case may be, like if you're passionate about things, like just start. Maybe that looks like you are just selling it to like your close family and friends to begin with, or your coworkers, or maybe you're going to set up a table at a flea market. Like that is, I think about how entrepreneurship could be in the beginning, almost like how people talk about that ugly stage when you first lock your hair, right? Women really struggle with that. Don't want to go through that ugly stage, but there are so many women once their hair starts to grow out and it gets to that length that they love, they're like, oh, I just wish I had locked my hair earlier. And they don't even think about what the ugly stage was like. They just now feel like very beautiful and confident in their hairstyle. And so, again, it's just a testament to the fact that sometimes things gotta get ugly before they get pretty. And instead of us, like, again, running away from the ugly, embracing it, embracing those stages in life where you're just beginning, where it feels a little different, where it is uncomfortable, but knowing that as you continue to work on it, invest in it, nurture it, it eventually grows into something bigger and larger and better that you can be very proud of and that you want to show off to the world. Okay, so that is, I want us to just stay here, right? I want us to stay here in this moment of understanding that there is good, bad, and ugly of entrepreneurship. And my special guest is here, by the way, y'all. I want to let y'all know this conversation is about to get real, really, really good in just a hot second. Okay, so stay locked in here with me because it's about to get good. And then the last person I want to tell you about before we move on to our next break and our special guest coming here is I want to talk about where did she go? Janice Bryant Howard. So if you don't know who Janice Bryant Howard is, the question I have for you is, do you remember, have you ever applied for jobs online? If you ever applied for jobs online, at one point before starting a business, you may have came across a staffing agency called Act One. The Act One Group is the largest privately held minority woman-owned personnel company in the U.S. It also made Janice Bryant Howard the first Black woman to own and build a $1 billion company. Now, let me tell you about this because I know that somebody sit here this name right now and they've never heard it before. And I think it's important for me to say that too, because sometimes we feel like, oh, if you're not, if everybody don't know you, if you're not, an influencer on social media, then you ain't making bank. There are a lot of millionaires and billionaires who are not on social media and people do not know who they are. So sometimes you also have to be okay with being able to keep your head down and do your work and know that growth will come from that too. But here's the thing, with only $900 to start, because again, I know some of us are saying, I don't have enough money to start a business, right? Or my business is, doesn't have a lot of money coming in right now. And so maybe I should give up. With only $900 to start, she built Act One after the urging of her brother-in-law. The personnel company went on to staff 14,500 companies, local businesses, and government agencies. Ms. Howard has been a contributing writer for Forbes and Huffington Post and the author of 2 books. Okay, so I just want to leave you with some advice that she has given us. She says, the advice I offer female leaders is the same I offer anyone. Be honest about where you are in the process. And that's why we're talking about the good, bad, and ugly right now, right? Being honest about this process, this journey through entrepreneurship. Not just your role. Be honest about your abilities. Are they growing? Will what got you here get you there? And if not, what are you prepared and excited to do to fill the gap? Those are questions. I'm going to repeat those again because I don't want you to miss it. Be honest about where you are in the process, not just your role. Be honest about your abilities. Are they growing? Will what got you here get you there? If not, what are you prepared and excited to do to fill the gap? And again, like I said, if you're on the email list at SheWantSociety.com, one of the things that I said that keeps a lot of female entrepreneurs lonely and also lacking in growth is the fact that a lot of us are out here not speaking about the difficulties and struggles that we're facing. And so when you are surrounded by people who are constantly projecting that life is perfect and good and they're always doing well, it's very difficult for you to say, well, I'm not doing good and I actually do need help and I don't know how to do this when it seems like everybody else knows how to do it. Everybody else has it together. Everybody else has figured it out. If we all become more honest about the struggles that we're facing, or at the very least go into spaces where people are being honest about the difficulties, the good, bad, and ugly of entrepreneurship, that will help us. That will inspire us and empower us to actually be able to fill in the gaps where we are struggling and also be able to get the help that we need in the areas where we are struggling. So that's definitely what I wanted to us to share today about the good, bad, and ugly of entrepreneurship. We'll keep this conversation going though. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to be back. When we get back here, y'all, my special guest is going to be in the building. I'm so excited. Stay tuned. This is 101 TKO Radio, the She Wins Radio Show. We'll be right back. We're back. This is the She Wins Radio Show, 101 TKO Radio. We are live on the air. And if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, you can see that my beautiful guest host has arrived. She is here. She is in the building. Dr. Princess Lomax.
Hi, yes. Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me here today on She Wins Radio. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. Okay, so sis, just go ahead. I'm going to let you take the mic. Tell us a little bit about you, what you do, why you're like, what doctor you are. What kind of doctor are you?
Okay, so my name is Dr. Princess Lomax. I am a serial entrepreneur. I currently hold family nurse practitioner. I have my doctoral degree of family nurse practitioner. I just opened up a wellness clinic here in the Atlanta area over in Camp Creek.
Wow.
Yeah, so I pretty much specialize in doing everything for someone, mind, body, and soul. Of course, we're doing it outside for the Botox, the fillers, weight loss. They call me the weight loss doctor, by the way. So some of your favorite celebrities, I'm the reason why they don't lost all that weight, girl.
I need to make my way over there.
Yeah, and we also do a lot of clinical research. So I partner with Sky Clinical Research, and what we're doing is we're bringing the research into our community. So many times that as Blacks and Latinos, medications don't work for us because guess what? We're not participating in these studies. And because we're not participating in the studies, other races are. They're making the medication that works for their bodies. So we're coming in and trying to get people in our community to come and participate in these studies so that medication can start working for us. It can work for you and I. So we got a lot of Black and brown people that's coming, they're participating, and they're getting to know what medications work for our bodies.
That's dope. That is really awesome because I can definitely tell you, like, I'm one of those people who, like, I don't really like to mess with medication because I do feel like I don't know if this is really going to work for me. And I have always had that question, even when it comes to like things like vaccines and stuff, like, how do you know that it's going to have the same response on everybody? But that makes sense. Like, you need more of us to be part of the study.
And that's why a lot of medications don't work for African Americans and Latinos because we don't participate in the studies. So they don't know what works for us and what doesn't. So we end up taking these medications that these other nationalities have participated in the studies of, and it works for them. But our bodies and our makeup, our genetic makeup is completely different. So now that, Sky Clinical Research is out here empowering us, the Black and brown community, to come on and join in and do these research studies, the medications are starting to work for our bodies.
That's so dope. Okay, so like she's really dope, y'all. If y'all have not heard, we have been talking about some really amazing women, female entrepreneurs who have been doing amazing things, and like this is up there. This is big, sis. This is really big. Okay, so you said that you are a serial entrepreneur. Tell us some of the other businesses that you've had throughout the years.
Well, when you first met me, I had a sports bar called Diamond Sports Bar. Mm-hmm. So I'm originally from the south side of Chicago. Hey, Chi-Town's in the building. So, in Chicago, I had a club called Red Kiva in the heart of the West Loop area in Chicago. And then I went in, I found something happened, a tragic happened and closed, and I was all sad. And then I found a space and birthed it into Diamond Sports Bar and had it for a couple of years, did very well. I love to party. I love the nightlife. So it was great for me. When I sold it and moved here to Atlanta, originally I was working for a company, seeing patients throughout COVID. I was taking care of COVID patients. And I knew it was time for me to just become an entrepreneur again. So I opened up Crabs R Us, which wasn't as successful because I moved to Miami and, having a business in one city, moving to another, it just did not work out. And I've always wanted to open a clinic. And when I went to Miami, God told me I had to come back to Atlanta and launch this clinic. And then I will have several in multiple cities and states. So Exquisite Wellness is the name of my clinic. It's over in the Camp Creek area. And again, I partner with Sky Clinical Research, and we're doing great things.
Awesome. So what I hear is that You have tried multiple different things. Some of them have been, most of them have been.
Oh, real estate.
Oh, you did real estate too?
Buy and flip property in the city of Chicago. So I do got a couple of properties still left in Chicago.
Okay.
I just closed on one of the buildings. So since I'm not there, it's kind of hard trying to be a landlord and rehab properties. So yeah, that's another thing on my list.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
author.
Listen, we can keep going. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
So I wrote a book pre-COVID teaching nurses how to make six figures because pre-COVID it was kind of I was getting a lot of questions as a nurse. How are you making six figures? So I wrote a book teaching nurses how to make six figures. But during COVID, it was easy to make the money because they were paying much more.
Wow. Okay, y'all. So sports bar twice. All right. Author, wellness clinic, doctor, real estate. Sis is doing all the things. But what we did hear her say in her journey is that she didn't have one thing and that's all she's done. She's dibbled and dabbled in other things. Some things that she's tried have been very successful, others not successful. But you remain an entrepreneur. Why?
Listen, God did not give us a spirit of fear. So just because one thing didn't work or you failed in one thing or something happened, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. And, if I could go back in time and tell the younger me, it would be to always bet on me. Always bet on yourself. If you bet on yourself, there's no stopping. I can't stop. Stop for what? I got to keep going.
Yes. Come on. Listen. Okay. So we talk about the good, bad, and ugly. What's the good of entrepreneurship? Give us one good.
A good thing of entrepreneurship, my business is open right now, up and running, and I'm here at the podcast. Yeah. So when you work for someone and you work in a 9 to 5, it's impossible to do other things outside of work, especially doing work hours because they expect you to be there 9 to 5. But when you're an entrepreneur, you can kind of maneuver and do other things. You can go out and market your brand, come to podcast, support She Wins radio station during the daytime when you're really supposed to be at work. And then it's also rewarding to see that you're not only making money, but you're helping people. When you're working for someone else, you're building their dreams. You're allowing them to reach their goals. But when you're an entrepreneur, these are your dreams and your goals that you set for yourself, and you're attaining them and achieving them. And there's nothing greater than that.
Yes. Oh, I can only agree. It's the freedom for me. It's the freedom for me because I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years. And for the most part, I've been doing my foundation has been the same, right? But I had absolutely done a whole bunch of different things along the way, right? But I stay in it even through the bad and the ugly because of that, right? It's worth it. So tell us one bad. What's a bad thing about entrepreneurship?
Well, a bad thing is, going into debt. For those of us, this entrepreneurship, especially African American females, they're not giving us money to open these businesses. So we're opening them with our own money. I can tell you, when I decided to birth Crafts R Us, I spent over $200,000 getting the business started, getting everything up and running. I did everything besides started paying for marketing. I had a break-in my home. They wiped me out, including cash. So now there's no money for marketing. So I opened the business without marketing. I was able to do that in Chicago because my name rings bells. Everybody knows Princess. Everybody knows Diamond. So, hey, Diamond Sports Bar, let's go. Here in Atlanta, nobody knows me. So opening up a business where nobody knew me and didn't do marketing, it was an epic fail. It was an epic fail. So I was backtracking, started to do marketing, and then I got a second break-in. They kicked my door for a second time, and I was like, the hell with Atlanta, I'm moved to Miami, and trusted someone to buy into the business, and the business was doing very well because he did do the marketing, he did everything needed. He just was stupid. He didn't pay any bills, so that restaurant closed. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is bad. You go into business with someone and you see them making 60 to 90 grand a month and they won't pay any bills.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I currently still have the space and paying the bills there. It's not open. But that was definitely a failed business. But, I trust in God, and since I still have the space, maybe some relaunching pretty soon.
All right. Now that's real though. And this is why I wanted to talk about this with you, because I just know from previous conversations, any other time that you've been like on my platform, like you keep it real. And I love that about you, because we need to have these conversations. I think that again, people see you like you are beautiful, you are successful, but they don't always know like princess be going through some stuff too.
Because I don't look like what I be going through. I mean, you was there for me through one of the hardest and darkest times in my life. Like you flew in just to give me a hug, to give me encouraging words when my fiance at the time, Gregory Burnett, was murdered. Mm-hmm. And I did not look what people thought I should look like. So they like, oh, she's still out and about. She's partying. She did, she that. But you was one of the people that saw it behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. You came to my house. Mm-hmm. You saw how devastated I was and how it broke me. Mm-hmm. But I didn't allow the public to see that side. Mm-hmm. For what? Yeah. It's social media. I'm going to be social on here.
Right.
So, I've been through a lot, but I don't look like it. And that's the beauty of it. And that is God. God is awesome. He's amazing. He has not allowed me to look like what I've gone through. And I'm grateful and thankful for that.
Yes. Ooh. It's just so good. Like it's so wholesome, because we see, and I do think that social media is not a place for people to know everything. But when you are given the opportunity to like be vulnerable and real, you do it. And you do it beautifully. So I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you for sharing that with us.
I mean, I can't be nothing but real. What's a damn princess and you being fake?
Okay.
No, you gotta be real.
I know that's right. So tell me, choose an ugly. What's an ugly in entrepreneurship? When does it get ugly? Because you are beautiful. But
it gets ugly. It gets ugly when you open a business and launch it, and you think you're gonna be successful because you got all these friends and family members and think they're going to support you. And I feel like it gets ugly when you see your friends not come inside your business, but they're around the corner at a business similar to yours. So that was an ugly part about entrepreneurship. I owned a sports bar. I built everything out brand new. And I had, so-called friends that was around the corner at a little hole in the wall that has been there, has not upgraded, has not spent any money in there, and they will go in there versus coming into my place. So that was the ugly part of the business of being entrepreneurship. And strangers started coming in and supporting me more than my so-called friends. Mm-hmm. So glory to God, it became successful, but thinking that these people that's been around me all my life will support me and they didn't. That was the ugly part of the business.
Yeah. And I think that every entrepreneur, female entrepreneur that I've ever spoken to will say and agree that is like one of the most toughest things, is not getting the support that you think you're going to get from your family and friends. And
I gotta say friends, because shout out to my family. My family, amazing. Yes, no matter what I do, no matter what I open, they come in. If I move to Africa, they come into Africa to see me launch something. So my family, like without them, I don't know where I would be. They're awesome.
Shout out to the fam. That's definitely dope to have as a family that supports you, that holds you down. Yeah. But I want to say that in those moments when your friends didn't show up for you, because we talked about this on the last show. We talked about how friendship could be a funny thing, especially navigating it as an adult. How did you handle that with your friends? Are they still your friends?
They're distant.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
They're around. Some I've spoken to. We've cried together. They apologized. They didn't know how I felt and how it hurt me. And some I just let it be. Okay. But they're around, they distant. I'm one of them people. It's hard for me to let go of things and people. Mm-hmm. So you can hurt me, and I still have you around. Mm-hmm. And that's because God forgave me so many times. Who am I not to forgive?
Ooh, come on, princess.
So because I got a heart that forgives, they still around.
Wow. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. You know what? I think we could all use a little bit more forgiveness.
Yes, we can, and we don't look at the stuff that we do and we ask God to forgive us if somebody do something else and I'm not forgiving that person. Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you.
Yes.
You can forgive them. That doesn't mean you have to still be around them.
Mm-hmm.
But forgive them for you. Lighten up your load, release it so that God can continue to pour into you and bring people that'll bless you into your life. But if you're holding on and you're bitter and you're mean and you're evil, there's no room for blessings.
That is the truth. That is the truth. And it made me just think, like you just said, some of your friends didn't even know that it hurt you that way, that they didn't show up for you when it came to you starting your business. Like they didn't know.
And it was years later I explained it, and I'm like, yeah, he was right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
At Geno's instead of damn sports bar.
Okay. Well, if you didn't know, now you know. Okay. If you didn't know, now you know. But it is true. People, I share that. I just feel like when it comes to friends and just people who are close to you, sometimes when you start a business, they don't understand how important it is to you. They don't understand even what you're doing, right? Like a lot of people, especially if they're not entrepreneurs, they just don't get it. And the strangers, though, that's a beautiful thing about it. That's okay because the strangers gonna lift you up.
Listen, I'm from the south side of Chicago, but when I tell you my west side family, my west side friends, and they became friends and family because I didn't know them from a can of paper. Mm-hmm. They came into my club, started promoting, and they just helped blew me up. Mm-hmm. And then my Southside family started coming and hanging around. But it was, a whole nother side of town. Mm-hmm. They believed in me. They saw something in me that I didn't even see. That, of course, my people from the South Side didn't see. The West Side, they came in and they showed me so much love when I owned Red Keeper, and we became family. And they, to this day, they're still my family and friends.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And I say it's beautiful because I can think about when I first started how that used to weigh me down so much because I'm constantly focusing on the people who I thought would support me, mm-hmm. that I'm not realizing that like I do have a good thing going and my business is growing. I have a lot of support, but I can't see my supporters because I'm so busy focusing on the people who are not supporting me.
And you gotta just say, hey, let me focus on who's supporting me. Let me focus on the blessings that's right in front of me. Because if not, you'll get stuck. Mm-hmm. You'll fall backwards. And you'll go into some type of deep depression, and you'll become bitter and angry and mad because of the people that's not supporting you versus focusing on that support and allowing God to continue to bless you with newness, new people, new accomplishments, new territories.
Preach. And it's true because I've been there. I absolutely have been there and got stuck and didn't know where to go from where I was at because I let the people who weren't supporting me just drain me.
Yeah, and sometimes God will have us, he wants you to be still sometimes. Mm-hmm. So being stuck, it's not always bad. I know I've been stuck for the last couple of years, and I know God was working on me. Mm-hmm. He was working on my heart. He was working on my mind. He was working on healing me. He had to heal me from a lot of different things in order for me to move forward.
That's real.
And he brought some people in my life now that's currently blessing me. Mm-hmm. Like me partnering with Sky Clinical Research. I don't even think her and her husband understands how they've been such a blessing to me and my life. Mm-hmm. Like they came into my life where I knew I was going to open up a wellness clinic, but they blessed me tremendously with this research.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome. Shout out to Sky.
Shout out to Sky Clinical Research.
Okay, so
Shamika and Marcus. Yes. She don't really like the whole land life stuff. So she's so beautiful and so awesome, but she likes to play the background. Mm-hmm. But I know eventually God is gonna allow her to surface. Mm-hmm. And then, she's gonna be right with me at these podcasts and talk shows.
And that's what you're supposed to do. Lift each other up as you thrive. Yeah. All right, y'all, we're going to take a quick break. We're gonna be right back. I want to ask Princess what some of her most memorable moments were in entrepreneurship, and what are some of her most valuable tips when it comes to building a successful business. All right, y'all, we're gonna take a quick music break. This is She Was Radio Show on 101 TK Radio. Hey sis, hey sis, hey, you are tuned in to 101 TKO Radio, and this is the She Wins Show with your favorite coach, Andromeda, and my beautiful guest host, Dr. Princess Lomax. All right, y'all, so let's get back into this conversation. Before we went on break, I said that I was going to ask Dr. Princess two questions. I want to know what one of her most memorable moments in entrepreneurship is, and I want her to share because sis has started multiple businesses. She is extremely successful as an entrepreneur and a business owner. So we definitely want to tap in and get some knowledge that we can actually take and implement today to make sure that we are growing our businesses. So first, no, let's get a tip first. Then we're gonna end off on the most memorable entrepreneurship moment.
Tips. Don't give up. I will have to tell you, the number one tip is do not give up. If there's something you're passionate about and you know this is what you want to do, don't give up, because one bad move or one failed business does not equate to failure. It just means regroup, come back, do something different, or it might just wasn't your time. Sometimes it's not our time, it's God's timing. We want things so bad, and God like, no, it ain't time for you to do that yet. So definitely don't give up is one of my tips. Second tip is, if you are going to go into business with someone, research them. Do not go into business off of a referral, offer them talking good, offer them having a business. Research them as a person and research their other businesses that did not survive and figure out why, because that'll keep you from having a lot of heartaches and pains. Thirdly is just, keep going. Keep going. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's easy to go punch a clock and work for somebody and do a 9 to 5 and get a paycheck. But, it's not going to always be good. It's not going to always be glitter and gold. Some weeks you might not make no money. So you got to keep going, because in your mind, you got to think, if you're punching the clock and working for someone and you made $2,500 that week for them, imagine you can make that a day for yourself. So that's how you got to think. You got to think big. We think so small sometimes. Think big. Think of the bigger picture. As an entrepreneurship, there's a limit amount of money that you can make, versus if you're working for someone else, you holding yourself to a salary, you're working for them for 20, 30 years, and what's the retirement look like for you? Versus you can put that energy into your own business and make the money in 5 years that you made for them in 30 years, and now you can retire at a younger age and really enjoy your retirement.
Come on. Y'all keep going. Keep going. That's what I heard. Keep going. And other thing I also learned is that you said is about basically it's like a faith walk. Like that whole understanding that sometimes it's not your time. Sometimes God is needing to work on you and to help you get better skills, or to move you to a new location, or to get you around other people before that business can really take off the way that it's meant to. So that's really, really good. I want to also ask you about, Rochelle Johnson. Thank you so much for watching, listening. She said, do not give up. That's right. But I want to also ask you, because you mentioned that marketing was one of your issues with one of your most recent business failures. And so when it comes to marketing, what are some tips you can give entrepreneurs for marketing to market well?
Listen, marketing is my least thing to know how to do.
Okay.
I suck at marketing. I don't know marketing. So guess what? Hire somebody to market for you. Don't try to do it yourself. You don't know what you're doing. Be honest. Anything you don't know how to do, you have to be honest with yourself and say, hey, that's what makes you a great leader, when you figure out what you don't know how to do. I figured out I don't know how to market. I don't want to market. I don't know anything about it. But you do have to hire someone to do your marketing. But don't get caught up in this whole, you need a PR person to do this and do that, because PR doesn't equate dollars. And also marketing doesn't necessarily equate dollars. That's something I'm still struggling with, but just run some ads, find somebody who can create the ads for you, run them yourself. But, don't overspend with someone to market for you. Give yourself a 3-month time span. If they're not making you no money in 3 months, move on, move on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, whatever you don't know how to do, hire someone to do it. Find someone that can come work for you on the inside and do your marketing versus them having their own company and they putting together a marketing package. That doesn't always work either.
All right, y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here. That's really, really, really good advice. You said that marketing is not something that's like your maybe your weakest area. What's your strength, your greatest strength when it comes to entrepreneurship?
My greatest strength with entrepreneurship is me. I'm my greatest strength. You know, as an entrepreneur,
Yes.
as an entrepreneur, you know, one, I believe in me. If I don't believe in me, who else gonna believe in me? How can I grow a successful business if I'm not sure about me and my business? So I'm definitely my greatest asset because I'm gonna advocate for me and I'm gonna do everything I have to do for me and for the love of my business. And you know, me being my greatest strength in entrepreneurship, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna give it my all every day. I'm gonna wake up in the morning and eat, dream, and think about how to make money in my business. The same way I used to wake up every morning and punch a clock for these different organizations in these hospitals.
Yes. Come on, y'all. Listen, if you are not hyped, if you are not encouraged, if you are not inspired, I need you to check your post right now because you might not be alive. Okay? Because sis gave us so much good, like, bet on yourself. I think that's what I'm gonna leave with that today. When I go home today, I'm just gonna be thinking about like I am my greatest strength. That's a word. That's an affirmation.
Yeah.
We all need to write that down and
Yes.
say that every morning. I
I
am
am
my greatest
strength.
Oh, feels good. Feels good.
But I
feels
think
good.
that's something you already know.
Oh, I don't think I've ever said that to myself.
You might not have never said it, but you got to remember. Think back to all the affirmations you giving us.
Yeah.
All the, you know, women empowerment you provided for some of us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'll take it. I receive it, sis. I receive it, sis. I've poured into you. You've poured into me. And that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. Thank you for reminding me today.
Yes, because your pouring into me allowed me to pour into others. It was about 20 of us, you know, doing the women empowerment book that you created, that workshop. And I can tell you all 20 of those women own their own businesses now. And they're successful with it.
What?
So, honey, She Wins, that women empowerment series you were doing, it allowed a lot of women to launch their own businesses and believe in themselves.
Y'all, she about to make me bring this class back.
I see you,
Rochelle. I see you, Rochelle. I am my greatest friend. We're about to bring, so this class is called 30 Days to Becoming an Empowered Woman. I'm about to bring this class.
I still got my workbook. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it to some women in Atlanta and let's teach them that within out of just 30 days of doing this workbook, they're gonna learn to become their greatest strength and believe in themselves like they believe in they managers and they business owners. They can become their own owners.
Yeah.
And they can hire managers.
Woo! So she has just like put a battery in my back, y'all. She has recharged my battery rather. Like I'm ignited. I'm excited. We definitely gonna bring this class back for both online and in person right here in Atlanta. So y'all hold me to that, okay? It's coming, 2024. Y'all get ready.
Okay.
Also, so I want to hear like, what's your most memorable moment on your entrepreneurship journey?
Honestly, my memorable moment doing my entrepreneurship is meeting people like you.
Aww.
Had I not stepped out on faith and became an entrepreneur, I would not have met wonderful, beautifully God-made people like yourself. You know, I meet people. And, you know, we cannot keep ourselves in a circle or a box and think we're going to grow. In order for me to grow, I have to continue to meet new people. I have to get in circles that are brighter than me, smarter than me, has more money than me, has more power than me in order for me to grow. So entrepreneurship has allowed me to get in these rooms and get in these circles so that I can grow.
You know what? And I just think that's a mic drop moment. I don't even know that anything else needs to be said because Princess has just shared with us like so many tools to win when it comes to both life and in business. Honestly, if we're being honest, you got to get around other people. You got to expand your circle. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You don't want to have this mindset of no new friends, right?
Yes, because it's some of my new friends that has had. Listen, God has blessed me with some new people in my life that inspired me, motivated me, allowed me to come into their life, and has blessed me financially. So, baby, these new friends, they'll come through.
Listen, but you got to be open.
Got to be open. Can't have a closed mind. And one thing about me, I don't allow people to put me in this box. Some people see me, I'm on Saturday night, I might be out twerking, having a good time. And on Sunday morning, I'm in church praising God. But you got some people like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, you're a doctor now. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Don't pigeonhole me.
Right.
Yeah, so to our listeners, definitely don't allow anyone to pigeonhole you.
You know, and I think that is the beauty of entrepreneurship is that you really don't have to be pigeonholed. You don't have to be in the box. Like you can really exercise all your black girl magic, right?
Absolutely.
Wear your hair how you want to, dress how you want to. You don't have to code switch. Like you can just be you in your business and know that there are going to be people who love you, value, and appreciate you
regardless.
Ah, that's dope. May we all get to a point where we are okay with if it's in our spirit to go out and get us a little twerk in. May we all feel like we have the freedom to go do that, and then also wake up in the morning and go to church, and then also wake up on Monday morning and go into your business. Absolutely. And handle business. May we all have that freedom in our spirit to do that.
The freedom to choose what you want to do.
Yes. This was so good. Like I'm so full. Carolyn Hayes said that is very important. Listen, y'all, this is so good. I absolutely am loving bringing on my special guests on this show. Princess, it has been an absolute pleasure to share this space with you and learn from you today.
I was honored to be here.
Thank you. All right, y'all.
Anytime you need me.
Y'all heard her, right?
Anytime you need me, I'll be there.
Thank you. Y'all, this is what
this called my name.
Hey. Okay.
I'll be there.
Listen, she's singing to me and everything, y'all.
And can't sing, girl, with this voice.
She's singing to me everything. This is what winning is about. This is what sisterhood is about. This is why She Wins Radio exists. This is why She Wins Society is here. So I hope y'all felt the spirit of sisterhood today. I hope that you feel encouraged to keep moving along your entrepreneurship journey. I hope that you feel encouraged to start your entrepreneurship journey if you have been on the fence or have been afraid of the good, bad, and ugly of entrepreneurship. But I hope, and of all things, I pray that you feel blessed by this conversation that we had today. So we are going to wrap up today's show. I want to remind you to make sure that you tune in to 101 TKO Radio, the She Wins Radio show, every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So notice I say every Tuesday because it's the last Thursday that I'll be going live on the show, because this year, like we come into 2023 and 2024, I have a lot of big things in store for us. So I had to kind of create some space on my plate a little bit. But
okay, every Tuesday
from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Make sure you tune in to She Wins Radio Show on 101 TKO Radio. Make sure that you also go to SheWinsSociety.com to learn more about our community, our sisterhood, our upcoming events and retreats, and just everything that we have. Y'all heard us here, me and Princess. We're going to be doing some empowerment sessions. So make sure you stay. Listen, She Wins. Make sure you stay locked in, stay tuned in. Make sure that you follow Princess at
Yes, my personal page is Dr. Diamond 002, Dr.Diamond002 business page. I have two. I have a professional page, okay. Dr. Princess Lomax, and also Exquisite Wellness Bar. So come see me if you're in the Atlanta area. If not, and you're trying to lose some weight, guess what? We ship. I ship that weight loss products to you. So that's www.princesslomax.com.
All right, y'all heard it. And then what's the address for Exquisite Wellness?
Exquisite Wellness is 5835 Campbellton Road, Southwest, in the Camp Creek area.
All right, y'all. So check out Exquisite Wellness. Listen, we are definitely going into a new year. A lot of us are talking about new year, new me. I know for me, I'm trying to shed me a few pounds. So check out Exquisite Wellness, princesslomax.com, right?
Dr. Diamond got you for shedding that weight.
Hey!
I got you.
All right.
Actually got some in the car for you. You can start today.
She came with gifts, y'all. All right. Listen, until next time, y'all keep growing, keep glowing, keep winning, and keep loving on each other and loving yourself. Remember, you are your greatest strength. All right, y'all. Until next time, tune in to 101 TKO Radio. This is the She Lives Radio Show with your favorite coach, Andromeda. Take care.